Everybody, Rorree here. Welcome to my channel, Totally Rorree. Um, we are doing a 14-day challenge where we are keeping our vibrations high. We are avoiding negativity, avoiding loosh, and working on just keeping a high vibration no matter what's going on around us. So my contribution is to bring you all something positive every day so that you can start your day off in a wonderful, great way. Okay. All right. So we have been using the Four Agreements cards. For those of you who've read the Four Agreements book, I know I read it many moons ago, and I saw these cards and I thought I would get them and have some fun with the cards. And I can't remember the book really, but the cards have been fun. All right, so this agreement is be impeccable with your word. So we know that your word is your wand. So it's very important to mind your words, okay? So we have to work on our thoughts, but we also have to work on our words, the words that come out of your mouth, the words that you speak out about yourself, about others, about situations, speak life, all right? So as we are working on keeping this vibration high, we are gonna work on words of life. Okay, so this card says express your love. That is simple and to the point. Express your love. All right. So let's see what this says. Impeccability of the word can be measured by your level of self-love. If you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others, and that action will produce a like reaction. I agree. Ashe. All right. So impeccability of your words can be measured by your level of self-love. So self-love, that is important, Sometimes, what I have noticed is oftentimes people have to get to the point where they really love themselves. I know even I say things about myself that are not always like, I might just say, well, I don't like that about myself. And that's probably not so positive, right? Like to say that you don't like something, you know, on your body or whatever, and so I've got to work on that myself. Okay. Um, but I'm also working on the things that I don't like. I'm working to improve those things or enhance those things so that I like them better. But I definitely accept and love myself, even if there's something about myself that I don't like. You know what I mean? But as a whole, I love myself. And loving yourself can be a journey. I'm going to just tell you that. It really can be a journey. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're not loving yourself enough. Sometimes you may not realize that you really need to love yourself the most. Sometimes you don't realize that. Like more than somebody else. Like you might be in a situation where you're just giving of self so much and receiving nothing in the relationship in return. And or sometimes I find that sometimes we allow ourselves to be in abusive scenarios and we don't really have to be, but we decide to stay in an abusive situation. And oftentimes it's because we haven't found that self-love. We haven't gotten to that point where we love ourselves so much that we won't stand for situations that are not showing love to ourselves. So sometimes it takes you to have enough pain to learn that you love yourself the most. I know that for me, I remember one time I had to get to the point where I remember just being so hurt in a scenario where I had to remember that I had to remember who I am. You know what I mean? I am a beautiful being. I have a beautiful spirit. I come from a place of love. You know, I genuinely care about people, and and I am happy with me. I'm happy with Rorree. I love myself. And I had to get to a point where I knew that so that I wouldn't accept less than from anybody. I wouldn't accept poor behavior, poor treatment. And I'm not just talking about relationships with men, I'm talking about with women too. Like, I got to a point where I refuse. You know, there was one card, refuse something. What do they say? Refuse to eat emotional poison. Okay, I got to a point where I refused to eat anybody else's bull crap. I'm like, I'm not taking that on. And you don't get to give it to me. How about that? You don't get to give that to me. I know what I deserve, and I don't deserve crap or crappy treatment. I don't deserve that at all. So I had to get to the point where I knew who I was and I love myself the most. And I had to say that to myself. I love me the most. That was part of my affirmation in the morning. I love me the most. And I know that's grammatically incorrect, but that's how I said it so that I could feel it and I could embody it. So that's, you know, I do these things to give you little nuggets through my little stories to help you keep your vibrations high, because you might be going through something and you might need to recognize the goodness within yourself and that you should love you the most. You know, it's being in a scenario, being with a person or whatever, making you feel like you're less than. You know what I mean? If you're feeling like you're less than, you need to look in the mirror and figure out why you're more than enough. You are more than enough. And you have to embody that. You might have to tell yourself that I am more than enough. Okay? If someone treats you like you're not enough, they're always out trying to mess with somebody else, they always cheating or whatever, always got their Roman eyes or whatever. When you're in a relationship and that happens, you tend to feel like you're not good enough. And you may have to tell yourself that I am good enough. I am more than enough. If someone is cheating on you, guess what? That is not your problem. That's theirs, because they don't have it within them to recognize what they have. So it might be time for you to be out without any loosh and know that you are enough. You are good enough. You are love, and you deserve love. I deserve to give and receive love. That's one of the things that I tell people. I remember back in the day, I read this book called Calling in the One, and I got that statement from that book. I deserve to give and receive love. I deserve to give and receive love. And, you know, we did an exercise from our heart center, and we breathed in love with the affirmation that I deserve to give and receive love, because we all deserve to give and receive love. You know what I mean? That statement is not, I deserve to give love and give it, give it, give it, give it, give it, and never receive it. That ain't it. That's not the affirmation. It's, I deserve to give and receive love. Okay. So to start to love yourself the most, you might have to say it. I love myself the most. I love myself the most. I love myself the most. Put an affirmation on your phone. Let it ring 3 times a day. When it rings, it says, I love myself the most. And you repeat it. I love myself the most. I used to put affirmations on my phone all the time. I used to wake up in the morning, and in my first affirmation, I look at my phone and it's telling me what to say. And so I would speak it out. And I said I used to, I still do that to this day. Okay. I have alarms set on my phone so that I do different things at different times. Okay. I'm just being honest with you. Listening to Solfego music that has frequencies that vibrate high. Do that. You know, there are mantras that you can sing that can bring about a frequency within your body, you know, in your spirit, in your aura. You can sing mantras for precarious times and sing things to lift yourself up. Okay. So anyway, impeccability of the word impeccability of the word can be measured by your level of self-love. Okay. So now the next part says, if you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others. So if you love yourself, the way you come across, people are going to be able to see that. They're going to be able to see you vibrating in love a mile away. That's what they're going to see. If you're vibrating in low vibrations, that's how you're going to look. If someone's always saying to you, what's wrong? What's the matter? If that's what you get all the time, you need to check yourself. You need to look in the mirror and figure out what's going on. Why do people keep asking me what's wrong? Do I look like something's wrong? Are they feeling that energy from me? They must be feeling me. Okay. Am I vibrating that low that the first thing people say is what's wrong? Check yourself. Okay. Check yourself. Not to be beating yourself up, not to be belittling yourself. Figure out what's going on inside of me, emotionally, whatever, that's making me show up. Because when you show up all out here. You know, when you walk through the door, you show up. You know, people used to say, wow, when you come in the room, it's like a big bright light enters the room. I love to show up like that. That's what people would tell me. I like that. Now, would you like for somebody to say, damn, when you showed up, it felt like hell just came up in here? Or when you showed up, dang, everybody wanted to leave. Would you want, but for real, they probably wouldn't even tell you. But if you showed up and everybody left, you'd be like, what, my breath stink? So anyway, so if you're showing up some kind of way, you might want to check yourself, okay? All right. And do some of the self-work, okay? When you do the breath work, these little things I'm telling you, they might seem stupid. They might seem like, yeah, okay, like that's going to work. Just doing 13 breaths, okay? Sound real stupid, right? But you do that. Do that every day. Do that 3 times a day and see what happens. Breathe for 5 minutes 3 times a day and see what happens to your life. You're going to see a difference in your life if you just breathe for 5 minutes 3 times a day. See what happens. If you're sick and you have health opportunities, breathe for 5 minutes a day. For 5 minutes, 5 times a day. If you have a health opportunity, just one breath just now, I felt a shift in my being. One breath. Okay, breathe. You will see a difference in your life if you just breathe. So do some breathing. When you breathe, think, I love myself the most. When you breathe with the intention to breathe in goodness and exhale toxicity. Because you really are exhaling toxicity. I don't know why we're in a mask, so we exhale the toxicity and then breathe it right back in. But anyway, okay. So when you express, so if you love yourself, you will express that love in your interaction with others, and then that interaction will produce like reactions. So if you give love, you'll receive love. If you give hate, you'll receive hate. When you walk around miserable, then you're going to attract miserable people to you. You're going to attract miserable situations to deal with. If you're always low to ball, that's what my mother calls it, low to ball. If you're always feeling below the ball, low to ball, hanging out in low to ball, talking about people all the time, gossiping, you know, being angry bird, always being an angry bird, always having something pessimistic to say, you know, that's hanging out below the ball, in low the ball, okay? If you hang out down there, that's what you're gonna attract to yourself. All your friends gonna be low the ball. All of y'all gonna be miserable. I'm just saying, okay? So come from a place of pure love. Pure love. Okay, so rose quartz, really good if you want to enhance your loving vibrations. If you hold a piece of rose quartz, feel it, you know, love on it, love on a piece of rose quartz. Allow that energy to permeate your being. Piece of rose quartz, just love on a piece of rose quartz, okay? So those are some things that you can do to express your love and to love yourself, okay? And exude love, you know? All right. All right, y'all. I like that one. I like that one. Okay. So my necklace, I love this. I got this piece. I think I've worn this in another video, but I got this piece from Totally You. This gentleman, he has he's set up on Instagram. You can check him out on Instagram. Just look up Totally You, and he sells natural stones. So this one is really pretty. I don't know if you see the little flecks in it, but when you turn a light out and you put a flashlight on this, you can like see right through the stone, and the red flecks just jump out at you. But his stones are so well crafted. I don't know if you can see it, but look at the loop, you know, just the way he makes the knot. I like, really? That's so like beautiful, you know? And then each stone is wrapped differently. So it feels like not only do you have an individual piece, you know, but you also have the wrapping that can be catered just to you. Okay. And then the necklace is nice, copper wiring with everything. Copper is very healing to the body. It's one of those healing metals. So anyway, I hope I gave you guys something to nosh on today, and let's keep those vibrations high. Okay, everybody. Ashe, ashe, ashe.